cosmos is full beyond measure. Elegant truths of exquisite interrelationships of the awesome machinery of nature. I believe our future depends powerfully on how well we understand this cosmos, in which we float like a mote of dust in the morning sky.
This is a quick update on this year's North American International Auto Show in Detroit. Consider an addendum to my first episode. Overall, it was kind of a disappointment. A lot of the cool new technologies that were around last year were not on display. Hybrid development seems to have hit an efficiency wall, and the show floor nearly gave me a seizure, and I'm not even epileptic. First, the hybrids. I'm going to ignore all of the hybrids that cost over 50 grand, for now. As for the other new hybrids on display, well, there wasn't much progress. Toyota had the new Prius 5 on display, which gets 40 miles per gallon. This seems impressive until you notice that the new Ford Focus matches that, is just as roomy, and isn't even a hybrid. Honda in particular seems to be falling behind. The CR-Z takes more than 8 seconds to hit 60 and doesn't even break 40 miles per gallon. It's hard to see how it's either an efficient car or a sports car. And the FCX Clarity, what to say about it other than that they only have 20 of them on lease for 600 big ones a month. It's not a production car, it's a stunt. Both Honda and Toyota have some catching up to do if they want to beat Hyundai. The new Hyundai Sonata Hybrid looks great, is very roomy, is cheaper than the competition except for the unrefined inside, and is very luxurious. All this, and it pretty much matches the Prius 5 for economy, and it's on sale now rather than later. Frankly, let's go back to the Focus for a minute. Here is a non-hybrid vehicle that is very roomy, and yet beats out some of the hybrids for fuel economy. Actually, Hyundai managed this 40 mile per gallon trick with their new Veloster Coupe too, though it's not as roomy. I know this because they let us sit in the prototype, which is very unusual. Kudos Hyundai. Imagine what the other auto companies could achieve with hybrid technology if they weren't devoting most of their hybrid budget towards building hyper-expensive luxury cars that don't even get good fuel economy. Why even bother doing that? Is the demand for expensive tax dodges so great that it's worth turning hybrid technology into a joke? The good news is that pure electric vehicles are out of the green ghetto, and now are placed prominently within each of the main manufacturers' displays. Mercedes even had an electric vehicle on display, even if it was priced for a Sultan and painted in such a way as to completely defeat any attempt to photograph it. Ford, in particular, had a very impressive mini test track for their all-electric Focus and Transit Connect vehicles. Let's check it out. Okay, so I'm getting ready to get into the Ford Focus Electric. I'm going to take a little ride around the test track. So there's very little sound.
Vibrations from the rollers in the floor, but the vehicle itself has no transmission. It's basically a direct drive off the side of the weapon in order to get up to here. So bring it up to about 45, you'll see it's very smooth and clean power.
Looks like it accelerates to 45 pretty rapidly.
That's 45 right there. And again, most of the noise is the rollers in the floor. It runs about 100 miles on a charge, about 3 hours to recharge it on the 240 volt system. Cost you about $2.50 roughly.
So to repeat, there was a 100-mile range, 3-hour charge, about $2.50 for the refill.
Yeah, if you're figuring, I think recharge right now is like 24 cents a kilowatt. So
When will this be available?
It's going to be available end of this year, beginning of next year. It's going to have all the normal pieces of work. The Focus has like a sync system, like and all that good stuff. It does not have. We'll also have screen ports for the battery maintenance, like and so on and so on.
How much time, space in the trunk is taken up by the battery?
That I don't know yet. It's still prototype.
Okay.
But it's going to make sure there's reserved comfort for this market segment, especially.
That was fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Another major improvement I saw is that it seems as if the manufacturers have agreed upon a unified plug architecture for electric vehicles. That doesn't sound like much, but imagine having to find a charging station with a particular plug in order to charge your vehicle. That would limit their utility greatly. Oh, except for Volkswagen, which continues to go their own way. I hope they come around soon, because if they don't, the inconvenience factor will hurt VW electric sales, regardless of how good the actual vehicles are. On to the weird. Remember that really cool in-wheel motor that Michelin was showing off last year? Well, this year's Michelin booth was a real disappointment by comparison. While it is possible that the wheel-mounted motors integrated into the ENV vehicle from GM that was oddly relegated to the Michelin booth, they didn't make that clear. I would have to see a crash test before I can recommend such an odd vehicle as the ENV. It just doesn't seem to be practical or safe. So what have they been doing with their time? Apparently, they've been paying design students to build fanciful models, and buying fake, not quite holographic technologies that are just a Pepper's Ghost illusion in a box. It's unimpressive. So that's my update from the auto show. I guess I've answered my own question from last year. Is the auto show a good place to look for new, green technologies that will change our lives forever? No. Hopefully Ford and Hyundai can kick some ass this year and prompt their competition to innovate again. Hello everyone. Over the past 10 months, I've traveled all over the United States in search of technologies and societal adaptations to help us cope with the changing world. I've also spent a lot of time editing and producing the best quality show that I could, within my means of course. I hope that the journey has been as fun for you to witness as it has been for me to experience. The things I've seen and documented give me hope that we can, indeed, pull through the challenges of a changing world. However, at the moment, I find myself not only on a trip for life, but also on a search for funding. My original plan was to fund the show with contributions and memberships to my website. That has not panned out. It may just be a symptom of the lousy economy, but only a few generous people have paid up to keep this show going. The Trip for Life is a full-time job, what with all the traveling and the extensive editing that goes into each episode. And even with all my frugal ways, my savings are running out. So I'm trying a new strategy, Kickstarter, a website dedicated to funding projects such as mine. Just go to Kickstarter.com and search for The Trip for Life. Once there, you can watch a quick video explaining what I'm doing, see what rewards I have on offer for contributions, and choose to be a backer, quickly and easily. Please back The Trip for Life so that I can continue on this journey to bring you the best of the future, today.
The sky calls to us. If we do not destroy ourselves, we will one day venture to the stars.